here at Caritas, we follow the preventive system of our founder, Don Bosco. We believe in showing the students this loving kindness in correcting them. So we provide more like counseling or talking to the students rather than punishing. And that's the foundation of our school, Caritas.
It's a materialized world. I think we can see a lot of moral education is missing in the government schools. But as us, like a Catholic institution like us, we needed to show the Catholic identity as much as possible, so that put that one in line with education, interwoven together, so that they will be a whole being, human being will be developed as a human resource, not just the intellectual person, but the human resource we are now developing through this education. So we are putting very much effort to make them busy. For them rather, they can be busy with other things, hand skills, and making them busy, taekwondo, and also cooking and baking and sewing, all these, so that busy mind cannot be, overcome. But at the same time, one thing we are now very much, hoping for the government to change is in education they must put the technical education as much as academic effort, so that they can do something else if they can fail the examination for the universities, because people cannot live only university graduate. You have to have some factories and making some, things own self in here in PNG. So my purpose to be here as a leader, I want to make it 100% of the teaching staff will be national, not the expatriate take over for the national part. But we have to do it that one. But at the moment, still we are bringing some staff from the overseas because of the technical teachers are missing in this country. Really, I want to ask to the government to put a lot of effort to the technical teachers.
The Catholic Church in Papua New Guinea is the second largest education provider after the government. And, you can see that the church has really, done so much in terms of education. Like we have Marianville, we have here Caritas, and we have I think Mercy Sisters in Sepik.
Yeah, many places for the ladies, especially.
Girls' schools, and we have a lot of other schools too that are operated by the church. And one of the problems is that, we need more teachers. Teachers. There has to be more teacher training colleges. We need more teachers. So those are the areas. When the government says free education, it has to be ready to provide all those. And the church is really doing its best, but manpower is lacking, classrooms crowded, and materials is another factor. So that's where the government needs to look at. And so, I think the church has worked very hard in this area, the Catholic Church.
My name is Rachel Tombe. I'm from Enga. Currently, I'm teaching here at Pacific Adventist University. My main role here is position is I'm a senior lecturer as well as a researcher in this institution. And I've been working for the church for the last 20 years. If you look at the Seventh-day Adventist Church here in Papua New Guinea, they're not here for the gospel alone. They also provide services as well for humanitarian needs. And the two most important services they provide is health and education. In terms of health, we have some sub-health centers, as well as other secondment related hospitals where the government asks the churches to just come in to help out. We do have a health director in the Papua New Guinea local church administration, and that is the person that oversees most of those health facilities that are being run in the country. We do get the funding. Okay, those health services are funded by the government through church health services. They fund the salary and sometimes running cost as well. So it's more like a private public partner kind of a thing. But in terms of training, we just have one, and that's the program that we have in Pacific Adventist University, that's nursing. The only thing that we are looking at right now is the challenge that is facing us is the practical part of it. In terms of preceptorship, where you have less staff supervising, and in terms of space working in there when every other programs are there doing the practicum. Also the equipment, resources such as gloves, basic stuff is hand washing equipments, whatsoever that they use, lotions, it's all sometimes non-existent in the hospitals. So those are the things that sometimes the school normally pays for, so the students take their gloves, whatever, even suture needle to suture mothers after delivery. The basics are not there, so sometimes we find it difficult to send students to complete that good quality education that they're taking.
Director for Research and Postgraduate Studies.
Well, my name's Tracy Mawhileo, and my role is Deputy Vice Chancellor here at Pacific Adventist University, and my role is having oversight of the academic program. One way that we believe as a university and as an Adventist Christian university that we can make an important contribution to governance and to evidence-based policy decisions is through research. And my colleague will give some examples here, but universities are places that shouldn't only be teaching and imparting knowledge, but also places where we create knowledge. And I think there are questions and issues in our national context here that local researchers need to be trained up and equipped and enabled to look at those questions and provide answers. We don't always have to be bringing people internationally to find answers to the questions and the issues that we have in the country. We also need to be building up our skill base and our capacity and capability in country, and I think universities and Christian universities are and can continue to make a big contribution in this area, so that our government departments, our policy makers have good information on which to base their decision making and their policy development. So I think some forums where we can actually, the research work that we are doing, that it can be translated well and transferred well into action for industry, for government and other stakeholders. So really getting those connections tight would be good.
For us to feel that we are actually achieving something is for us to know that the government is taking note of our contribution through research, taking note of our recommendations, and sponsoring some more new projects. I think we are improving. Our government has done well so far. For the last 5 years, they put in place the STI, they call it. It's the Science and Technology Initiative Committee, and that committee has been responsible to sponsor. We're looking forward, and we know that there's more money that the government has allocated. One of the research projects that has been funded by National AIDS Council, the male circumcision research project, and which PAU, Divine Word, and James Cook are collaborating on. And that has changed, and we believe that it will change some of the policies, health policies. Yeah. So we're seeing something, and we know that more can be done. but it all comes back to funding.
There was actually a policy forum held as a result of this study that investigated the acceptability and feasibility of male circumcision as an HIV prevention in PNG, because the international evidence was that it does lower risk of some transmission at a population level, but it was really important to see the acceptability of that in different cultural contexts. And as a result of that research, there was a policy forum held, and out of that policy forum there were kind of recommendations for further research and for policy. So that's been a specific example where we've seen research influence policy.